ثبت قلوبنا على دينك آمين. أما بعد فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, all praise and thanks be to Allah Ta'ala. Our salutation upon our beloved Messenger Sayyidina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, welcome to all the brothers who are in I'tikaf and sisters, Alhamdulillah. In the Shafi madhab, that when you enter the masjid, at any time you can make the niyyah of I'tikaf. So if you're coming for the program for an hour, for half an hour, for salah, you make the niyyah of I'tikaf. And whenever we are in the masjid, we are in a state of ibadah for the whole time that we are here. So if you didn't recite it now, inshallah, make the niyyah now, inshallah. You can just say, nawaitu I'tikaf. You can just say, I'll make niyyah for I'tikaf. Ik maak niyyah for I'tikaf. Ik maak niyyah for I'tikaf. How do you say niyyah for I'tikaf? So you just make the niyyah of I'tikaf, inshallah. And I think before we start with the lesson, just to connect the hearts to Allah Ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, very grateful to be on I'tikaf. It is really a blessing from Allah to have a few hours or a few days to be in the house of Allah Ta'ala and to just have some time out, some time to disconnect from the world and disconnect from our normal lives and just reflect on Allah Ta'ala. These moments are moments of detachment from those around us and things around us. For those on I'tikaf, you greet your wife, you greet your children, Assalamu alaikum, you live in the protection of Allah Ta'ala, and you come seeking Allah, searching for Him. And that's our niyyah. Our niyyah is, Ya Allah, we are here for you. Ya Allah, we are here to seek you, to find you, to connect our hearts to you, to please you, to be pleasing to you, to seek your forgiveness, to seek your acceptance, to seek your guidance, to seek your help. So this is our niyyah, inshallah. And in these moments, inshallah, is that make the most of it. Alhamdulillah, we are blessed also. We thank the Bibi Masjid for inviting us and for allowing us to be here. It's a beautiful masjid and lots of space also. So even though you have many people, you can still be alone also. You can take a moment and you can just even just put your scarf over your head and just be alone with Allah Ta'ala. So spend many moments alone in this I'tikaf. Even though we'll be having programs all the time, be in the programs and just connect to Allah Ta'ala every single way, inshallah Ta'ala. We pray Allah accepts, Allah makes us better, and Allah may cleanses us that we can leave this masjid cleansed, and we can leave this masjid with our faith renewed and our iman stronger, inshallah Ta'ala. So some of the etiquettes of the I'tikaf is that we are here for the sake of Allah Ta'ala, so we should try to keep our hearts focused on Allah Ta'ala and our activities focused on Allah Ta'ala. Yes, it's fine to get to know your brother, in between and chat for a few minutes, but don't get too absorbed in conversations of this dunya about work and all of sports and all of those things. If you're going to have a conversation, make it a beneficial conversation, inshallah Ta'ala. But try to keep the connection, inshallah. So I think we must try to keep, especially in the main masjid area, is try and keep it quiet in the main masjid area. When it runs upstairs, if you talk upstairs, just keep it to a whisper, keep the volume down, so keep a nice peaceful atmosphere in the masjid also. And just also on the cell phones, inshallah, I would request the brothers don't play any videos or like loud things in the masjid. Not also watch videos in the masjid. It's inappropriate sometimes, all things that pop up on the screen and all of those things. Just to keep the sanctity of the space, inshallah. Furthermore, is that if one is in the niyyah of I'tikaf and you leave the masjid for a need, like you leave the masjid to go to the bathroom or to eat, and you return, all the time you're out and in, you're still in I'tikaf. Because you left for a need. But if you leave the home, if you need to go home and shower, you need to go studio, go to work and come back, you just make your niyyah again when you enter the masjid. For itikaf every time you enter, again, inshallah. Whether coffee is a need or not, you can decide. So Bismillah, Surah Al-Hujurat. If you can follow along, inshallah, see the verses, see the ayat with you, inshallah. So Bismillah, Surah Al-Hujurat. Hujurat, you probably all know the word Hajar, because you know Hajar al-Aswad. Hajar al-Aswad is what? Nadir? What's Hajar al-Aswad? It's the Amma, you know Hajar al-Aswad? The black stone, Amma I know Hajar al-Aswad, yes, mashallah. Is the Hajar al-Aswad is the black stone. So Hujurat is a building built from stones. So Hujurat are rooms or chambers. Rooms or chambers. Why? It's going to appear in one of the ayat, the story about the Prophet's room, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the chambers where he lived in. Like a bayt is like the house, but the hujr or hujurat are the rooms in the house. This is the Hujurat. So this is a Madani surah. So Madani surahs have a different focus from Makki surahs. Makki is before Hijrah, so Makki is focusing on Iman, belief in Allah, belief in the year after, following messengers, belief in revelation, salvation, Jannah, Jahannam. Then you go to Madani surahs, and Madani surahs is how do you form a healthy community? How do you form a healthy Muslim community? Between ourselves as Muslims and also how we engage other people. People of the book or people outside of Islam. How do we trade? How do we get married? How do we consume? How do we do our finances? It's all going to be Madani surahs. So Madani surahs is basically how to live as a society. So this Hujurat, so you can expect that. There will be some Iman stuff, but more focus on how to live as a society. So if you're looking for an Iman building surah, you read the Makki surah. Qiyamah and the Juz Amma, all those heavy, short ayat, heavy hitting the heart all the time, over and over and over. And if you're looking for more instructional advice, guidance, in terms of how you interact, and then you go to a Madani surah. A Madani surah. So if you look at the surah, you will see it begins, A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It begins with Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. So those of you who have a mushaf, scan in the surah, how many times you see Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu? Just scan quickly. How many times do you see Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu? How many times? Not Ya ayyuhan nas, but Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. How many times? 5 times. There's Ya ayyuhan nas at all. But there's 5 Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. 5 Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Yataqna Razi rahimahullah, famous Mufassir, he writes in his tafsir that each of the Ya ayyuhalladhina amanus deals with different type of interaction. So we'll count the interactions. The first interaction is between yourself and Allah. The second interaction is between yourself and our Master Sayyidina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then the third interaction is going to be between yourself and people. So there's 3 groups of people. So 3 groups of people are people who are not who are not Muslims. How do you deal with them? And in 2 groups of Muslims you are dealing with face to face, and Muslims you are dealing with that are not in your presence. So understand the 5 groups? Number 1, how do you deal with Allah? Number 2, how do you deal with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Number 3, how do you deal with non-Muslims? Number 4, how do you deal with Muslims in your presence? Number 5, how do you deal with Muslims in your absence? And those are going to be the 5 themes of the surah, or the 5 themes of Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. And each of those in the structure deal with a different category of people. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you who have iman. This is like a notification to the believers. Like it's supposed to make you like, I have iman. What's Allah saying? It's like a call for attention. Allah is calling your attention. Saying, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you have iman, لا تقدموا. لا تقدموا. What's your qadam? Most of you youngsters, you like to watch Suratul Qadam. So what's your qadam? Think, Nadia, think. It's the kurra is the ball, and the qadam is the foot. So Quratul Qadam is football. So qadam is your foot. So tuqaddimu means when you take your feet and you move ahead. When you move ahead. Allah says, oh you who believe, la tuqaddimu, do not move ahead. Do not move beyond. بين يدي الله ورسوله. Baina means between, and yad. Yad means hand. Yaday or yadayni means 2 hands. Do not move beyond, in front of, between the 2 hands of Allah and His Messenger. So what does that mean? First of all, we don't associate anything physical with Allah. Allah has no physical parts. But bayna yaday in Arabic means in front. Because what is between your hands is in front of you. What is before you. What is between your hands and what is in front of you. So the ayah is saying, oh you who believe, that tuqaddimu, do not precede, do not walk before, do not go beyond, do not go in front of Allah and His Messenger. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What does that mean? Don't go ahead of Allah and His Messenger. That one verse is enough for guidance. What the verse is telling you, telling all of us, is that setting out and walking in this journey of life is not something that we choose to do as we please. Something that we choose to do out of our own volition and choice. We make our own choices and volition unrestrictedly. Unrestrictedly, we just do what we want. However, walking in this life is walking on the path that has been set out by Allah Ta'ala and the path that has been walked by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Meaning what? Don't walk a path that the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam hasn't walked. Don't make yourself in front of the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam going where you don't know where guidance is. Because to walk behind him is guidance. To walk behind him is guidance. Therefore, صراط الذين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Is adab with Allah. Because what he brings is what Allah wants. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because he is all perfection. The perfect messenger. This message here is completely the antithesis, the opposite of the modern world. Why the modern world is encouraging you to do what? To be authentic, to be yourself, to be free, to do what you want, to be original. That's the messaging all the time. All the time. No one can tell you what to do. A Muslim is Allah can tell you what to do. The messengers of Allah can tell you what to do. So this message here is of fundamental importance. I want to mention one thing to leave you with. The modern world is trying to push to you the idea that you are completely free. Allah wants to push the other idea, the opposite. You are my slave. You are my abd. If you have that mindset, it comes to the world, it's totally different. If you think I am free, you live like you want, eat like you want, have any relationships that you want, have any business deals that you want, you will oppress people, you will hurt people, you just live. And the tyranny of your nafs will take over. The tyranny of your nafs will prevail. Because if you're not guided by divine guidance, the tyranny of the nafs takes over. And the person actually becomes an abd to their own nafs, they become enslaved to their own nafs. If you want to see it, it's all around. If you want to see it, it's all around. But if you live according to this ayah here, there are spaces where Allah told me I have to do certain things. That's called wajib. I must pray. I must fast. I'm not free to eat in the day. I'm not free. I'm the slave of Allah. I'm not going to eat in the day. There are spaces where Allah said, I cannot do those things. They're going to harm you, they're going to harm society. And then there are spaces where Allah gives you a choice. And we live within that, in those spaces. So this is the guidance of Allah. And coming to i'tikaf and studying the Quran is part of the process of adopting a theocentric view of yourself and the world. Theocentric means Allah is in the center of everything. For yourself and for your whole world. My life is about pleasing Allah. And if you disconnect yourself from these spaces and from these lessons, you start thinking like society thinks. That my life is for myself. But my life is not for myself. My life is for Allah. My life is for Allah. Allah continues, وَاتَّقُوا and have taqwa of Allah. Taqwa is both part faith and part action. Taqwa is part faith, part action. Taqwa means what? I have the belief, the faith, the belief that I will be accountable. What part action? And I'm going to take the actions to protect myself. I'm going to take the actions to live in a way that I'm going to be safe when I am before Allah. This is taqwa. And taqwa is tough. Because you live in a world that doesn't want you to have taqwa. And you have to almost like fight. And the problem is not the world. The problem is here. The world is the world, that's fine. The problem is what? Is how much of the world has entered into us. How much dunya is in us, or how much akhirah is in us. If there's too much dunya in you, and then you, in a sense, drowning. But if there's akhirah, you're on like the ship of salvation. You're moving towards Allah. And I believe in our time, it is almost near impossible to be a true believer if you're not connected to circles of learning and circles of dhikr and circles of goodness. If you're going to go somewhere where there's no believers, there's no masajid, there's no lessons, eventually your iman will be eroded until it's gone. And therefore what we have in Cape Town is this beautiful thing. We have all these masajid, this adhkar, these classes. This is the most precious thing in the whole world. In the whole wide world, this is the most precious thing. There is nothing else that there is really. And for many of us, when we have that choice, am I going to immigrate with my family overseas, or am I going to stay? And you're thinking to yourself, especially young professionals, you're thinking to yourself, am I going to move overseas? Am I going to stay here? And you're factoring all the factors: financial, crime, healthcare, load shedding. You do all the factors in your mind. A big factor must be the faith of your family. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong. I'm saying in your factoring, what must be most important is the faith of your family. Because the greatest calamity is that yourself or one of your family members, now will protect, is tested with their faith. They can be tested with their health, no problem, health, financial, those are normal stuff. Those stuff you get reward for. But the greatest calamity is that anybody is tested with their faith. Like for a parent to think, imagine your child, I will protect. Starts thinking about this Islam is not really right way. There's no greater calamity. They can rather have any other hardship besides the hardship of in faith. Anything else besides the hardship in faith. So when you're making your factors and your choices, where to live, what to do, your careers, who to marry, all of those things, we must factor in what taqwa. What is going to do for my faith? And no place is perfect. But we have to have a place where our mind can be continuously rejuvenated. No world is not going to live in Medina your life. You have to live in where you are, it's fine. But the circles that we have is important. Circles are important. Inna Allah Sami'un Alim. Very Allah is Sami'. Allah is all hearing. Allah is Alim. Allah is all knowledgeable. He hears everything and He knows everything. So of the five, that's the first, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. And even though it mentions both Allah and the Rasul, it's going to mention Allah first and the Rasul second, as an indication that following the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is following Allah. So the main focus on that first one is following the Messenger as a result of following Allah, or as a part of following Allah. Number two is directly with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, who you have faith, la tarfa'u, do not raise. Rafa means when something goes high up. Do not raise aswatakum, aswat, sawt. I don't know where sawt in Cape Town comes from. But sawt in Arabic means sound. So I don't know if that's connection. You say so manner, you know. I don't know if that's an Arabic or like salt, I don't know. I'm still trying to work out the video. We can actually check the etymology of it sometime, inshallah. But aswat is salt. Salt means sound, aswat is plurals. Your sounds, your voices. Oh, you believe, la tarfa'u, do not raise aswatakum, your voices, فوق, above صوت النبي, the voice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does that mean? Some of these, many of the Quran verses, one can look at with a literal lens and a figurative lens, a metaphorical lens. So if you look at it as a literal lens, what happens was, after the Prophet ﷺ makes Hujurat, this is the Madani period. And the Madani period is a number of important battles, Badr, Uhud, Khandaq, and eventually in the 8th year of the Hijrah, there is the Fathul Makkah, where 10,000 Muslims walk and march towards Makkah from Medina, and they take over Makkah with not much fighting there. Minimal resistance. And after the Muslims come and they march into Makkah, Makkah is like the capital of the Arabian Peninsula, Islam then becomes the de facto dominant force. And then in the next year, the 9th year after Hijrah, is called Amul Wufud, is the year of delegations. Delegations means now all the people realize that the Muslims are the superpower here, so all the Arab tribes come and they pledge allegiance to Islam. Wafd or Wufud delegations. So it's the year of delegations. So this verse was revealed when one delegation, Banu Tamim, they came. And many other people come, they're like Bedouin people, they're a bit rough and they're a bit loud. And I'll get to what happened. But basically they came and they stood in the masjid. If you've been to Medina before, you know that the Prophet was buried. Now it's in the masjid, but at that time it was the house was next to the masjid. So they stood in the masjid and they were saying, Ya Muhammad, come out, Ya Muhammad. They were like just shouting like that. Bedouins. They're not very refined people. Not all of them, but I'm saying in the hadith, they're known to be very like outspoken. Anyway, so they came and they shouted, there's a whole discussion there. At the end of the discussion, so that incident is going to be dealt with in the next few verses. But at the end of that, it's an interesting incident. They try to decide who must be like the ruler of this Bani Tamim. Who must be like the governor of them. Then Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he gives her a name. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he gives a name. He says Al-Qaqqa ibn Ma'bad. And then Umar radiallahu anhu, he gives her another name. He says Al-Aqra ibn Habis. Now the Sahaba are different, because one said, you must be governor. Other one said, no, you must be governor. Then Abu Bakr said to Umar, and they might have had a personal difference. Abu Bakr tells Umar, you just chose someone else to just differ with me. And one thing I know about the Sahaba, really, you read their Surah, like you read the Surah, they were always very frank. They were in one heart, but if they had a different opinion, they'd speak it. I don't agree with you. They'll be direct, I don't agree with you on that. And sometimes, men can do it. So Abu Bakr told Umar, you just told me that because you want to disagree with me. Umar said, no, I didn't do that. I believe the other guy is better. And then they started arguing, the two of them. And they raised their voice a bit. And the Prophet was sitting there. And this ayat came down. They say after these ayat came down, they say that Umar radiallahu anhu, you could hardly hear him speak of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did you say? After this verse came down, don't raise your voice above the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They say, Umar, you couldn't hear him speak. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you couldn't hear him speak. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, whenever he was on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu says, he says that the Rawi says that Abu Bakr saw that until Allah takes him away, he will not speak to the Prophet ﷺ except in a whisper. Like he's telling him a secret. Like that. Because they were so shaken by this verse coming down, because they now raise their voices in front of the Prophet ﷺ. They didn't raise their voice to the Prophet ﷺ. They raised their voice to each other, but in his presence. Not to the Prophet, to each other. They were like arguing who must be in charge. And then this voice came down, this ayah came down, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tarfa'u, do not raise aswatakum, your voices, fawqa sawtin nabi, above the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So in terms of where the ayah is revealed, it's revealed for a physical raising of the voice. But we can also understand this ayah as what? As to do with people's personal views. Meaning what? When a hadith is quoted, don't raise your voice above it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Don't disregard the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why not? Because he has been given divine authority. It's not appropriate when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is quoted that people say, you might obviously have different interpretation, that's fine. But not a difference where you say, I don't believe in those things. And one of the things happening now in our modern times is that the nafs is such, the nafs is lower self, is such, that the nafs will always seek the path of least resistance, like water. And so now you get groups of people, academics, they call themselves thinkers, progressives. They will start saying this whole thing about hadith, unreliable. This whole thing about Prophet ﷺ, why are you quoting 7th century Arabian text? We live in the modern world. And there is a strong movement within the house of Islam for people to want to do away with the hadith corpus entirely. Why? Because when you do away with the hadith corpus, then you can interpret the Quran as you please. Because people are very preoccupied with what lens are you coming to the Quran with? What lens are you coming with? What perspective are you taking on the Quran? Muslims have a very simple answer. My lens is the lens of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the lens. Kana khuluqul Quran is like the living Quran. So if you're not sure about the verse, you to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how did he live his life? His life is the verse. So the Muslims have always had this very clear understanding. When I come to the Quran, my lens is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is my lens. There's no salah in the Quran besides through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no ayah at-tahiyat in the Quran. There's no details. There's no details in the Quran. So if you're willing to take your ibadat from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why don't they not take everything from him? He's a guide for everything. So this idea of la tarfa'u aswatakum fawqa sawti an-nabi, don't try to outstep the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with your clever little ideas. They're not actually so clever, they are transparently superficial. They're just a manifestation of your westernized colonial nafs. As you try to come with your inferiority complex and you try to fit in. It's a bit harsh, but sometimes a bit harsh. Meaning what? We have no inferiority complex with our Muslims. How can you feel inferior for a moment in your life? I'll never feel inferior to another civilization. Ever. How can I feel inferior if we are from the followers of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? How can you be inferior? There's a disease amongst Muslims. They think because someone else built a better cell phone, we're going to be like them. Yeah. It's a form of man. It's really, and it's very prevalent, especially in the Arab world. Not an inferiority complex. We're going to be like them, we're going to be like them. For social, economic, political reasons, I understand why. But at the heart of it, you must have izzah, you must have like pride. I am with the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You must have that pride that must fill you with this pride. I am with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's no one else of value really. This is the greatest value in front. Imami amami. My imam's in front of me. This is how we must come to the world. Yes, we can learn a few things here, learn a few things here of this dunya, no problem. Bismillah. One day they will learn from us, I will learn from them. No problem. But in terms of heart space, where your heart is at, where your mind is at, one definitely cannot be inferior. And again, if you disconnect yourself from the masajid, you disconnect yourself from circles of learning, you start becoming like the people you're with. And you start spending lots of time with people outside, you start thinking like people outside. You start making your faith faithless. You want to make your faith only in your heart, no laws, no guidance, nothing. Do not ever, for a moment, find yourself in a gathering or in a conversation where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's words are being belittled. Rather leave the gathering or stand up and say, no, no, no. If that's a hadith, that is my guidance. I'll ask the scholars how to understand it. I'll ask scholars how to understand it. But fundamentally, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam speaks, that is who we follow. I plan to do about 6-7 verses, but I think our time is up, inshallah. I think tomorrow, inshallah, we have some technical difficulties, but tomorrow we're going to start on the time immediately. We're going to start, inshallah, because we're going to finish the whole surah. There's lots of very critical discussions in the surah about how to live our lives and guidance, inshallah. But those are 2 lessons for today, which are important as further as to Ya Ayyuha Alladhina. May Allah catch up to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on this blessed night, 21st night. We seek Laylatul Qadr. May Allah catch our heart to His heart. He is our Imam and He is our guide. May Allah Ta'ala be pleased with us. And if this Laylatul Qadr tonight, may Allah write us 1,000 months of Salah, 1,000 months of learning the Quran, 1,000 months of Adhkar, 1,000 months of goodness, and may this be our salvation. Sometimes when I think of Ramadan, I think this is my only salvation. The rest of the year, I don't know about myself. But Ramadan, a little bit of a better version. Like Ramadan, even better. So you think, like you know, Ya Allah, Ramadan. Please Allah. Make sure so you know, like your hands up. And now you have yet to come. Ya Allah, I tried 10 days, Ya Allah. Like we're trying. Allah wants to see us try. Dua is Allah accepts. And really, in this month, the doors are open. And Prophet says, he says, like, whoever prays Laylatul Qadr, all his sins are forgiven. من قام ليلة القدر غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Just if you pray Laylatul Qadr at one night, all your sins are forgiven. So it's a very easy formula we have. Is that we just pray all 10 nights of Ramadan, the last 10 days, and then we guarantee to get Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. We guarantee. And we come out of this month completely forgiven. On the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, so it's our collective tawbah tonight as well. We return to Allah Ta'ala, alhamdulillah. So alhamdulillah, we have the Ibadur Rahman dhikr group. They will be doing the dhikr on the odd nights, and the Mizan group with Brother Shahid, inshallah, will be doing on the even nights. So we encourage all the brothers to join in, inshallah Ta'ala. The dhikr really, you must lose yourself. Forget about who's around you, forget about everything else, and just connect your heart to Allah Ta'ala. The dhikr is the freeing of the heart and it's the healing of the heart. And we call upon the Ibadur Rahman, inshallah Ta'ala. They've been here, mashallah, 20 years, making this dhikr every Ramadan. So we invite you to join them. Bi-Iznillahi Ta'ala. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.